Samsung is about to release a foldable. That looks like a downgrade. On purpose. Less powerful. Thicker. Missing features. So why does it feel like their most dangerous phone yet? Because this year, Samsung isn't launching one foldable. They're not even launching two. They're launching three. The Fold 8, the Flip 8, and one device that honestly shouldn't exist. Because this third phone breaks a rule Samsung has followed for years. And once you see what they're doing, it stops looking like a product launch and starts looking like a preemptive strike against Apple before Apple even shows up. This isn't an upgrade cycle. It's positioning. Samsung is trying to win a fight before it even starts. Let's start with the normal one, the Galaxy Z Fold 8. And at first glance, it finally looks fixed. Bigger battery, faster charging, less visible crease. Finally, but the more you look, the more it feels exactly the same. Same narrow shape, same awkward outer screen, same compromises. Even that new 200MP camera? Yeah, you've seen it before. And this is where people get it wrong. Samsung didn't fail here. They chose this because this phone isn't trying to win you over anymore. It's trying to stop you from leaving. Now, yeah, there is one real upgrade. The crease. It's getting smaller, about 20% less visible. Sounds minor, but it's not, because the crease isn't just a flaw. It's the moment people hesitate. The second they go, yeah, I'm not ready for this yet. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Even if you fix the crease, you haven't fixed the experience. And Samsung knows that. So instead of fixing it, they built something completely different. The Fold Wide. And this is where things flip. Literally, instead of that tall, narrow design, you get something wider, shorter, almost square. And for the first time, it actually makes sense. No weird black bars. No cramped apps. No, this feels off. It just works. And weirdly, this might be the first foldable that actually feels right. But then you see the trade-offs. Smaller outer screen, thicker body, fewer cameras, slightly worse battery. On paper, this is a downgrade. So again, why would Samsung do this? Because this phone isn't for today. It's for what's coming next. Apple's first foldable. And here's the part that should worry Apple. All the leaks point to one thing. They're going with this exact design. Wide, tablet-like, more natural. So Samsung didn't try to beat Apple. They did something smarter. They showed it first, not better. First, and that changes everything. Because when Apple finally reveals their foldable, it won't feel new. It'll feel familiar, like you've already seen it, already judged it, already compared it. And suddenly, Apple doesn't look early. They look late. But there's one more move that almost everyone is missing. The S Pen might be coming back, but this time, without the usual compromise. No extra thickness, no weird layers, just built in. And if Samsung pulls that off, they instantly have something Apple probably won't. And now, this isn't just about design anymore. It's about control. Because look at what Samsung is actually doing. They're splitting the future in two. You want safe? Take the Fold 8. You want something that actually feels better to use? Take the Wide. Either way, you stay with Samsung. And suddenly, this doesn't feel like a product launch anymore. It feels like insurance. Because no matter what Apple does next, Samsung already has an answer waiting. So now think about this. If Samsung gives you two versions of the future before Apple gives you even one, did Apple just lose control of the narrative before they even entered the game? Or did Samsung just want to fight? That hasn't even started yet?